So just as the game is switching things up, so too are we switching up for this week's The Season video. The new rack system, the Antlercalc system, dropped last weekend, and I've been really enjoying it thus far, hunting really hard to get some trophies of them, and as you can see from this preview image, they are a whole lot better looking. There's so much potential for really cool stuff with the drop tines. I think just generally the frames look better, the beams kind of fit better with the tines going down into them and stuff. All kinds of different variations with the brow tines. There's chocolate racks, it's like a white kind of bone colored rack. Really cool stuff, and you're seeing a couple of them on screen right now. Essentially what we're going to be doing today is getting through as many seasons as we can, hunting for these things, taking a look at them, and trying to get some really good sized trophy bucks. Somehow, all the best bucks we've seen have been chocolate racks so far. That guy's awesome. 2 huge drop tines. Got a kicker off that G3. His right brow is short, and I can't tell if that's meant to be a busted G2 or if it's just super short, but I've made a massive mistake here. It's the first day of the season. I forgot to equip the scope on the muzzleloader, so that's going to be great. We'll figure that out when this guy gets a little closer, but we definitely want to get that, if for no other reason just to see the score, but those massive drops are really cool. So he's 120-ish out. I tried the decoy, I tried some scent, colors aren't working. I know we can make this shot, but actually getting it lined up's going to be a lot tougher than just doing it with the scope. So let's see. I'd really like him to stop, but I guess we'll just do this. Oh, I heard the impact. I think we got him. I haven't shot this thing with open sights in like 2 months since I first started playing the game. That got him. He's going to go down right out there. I can't believe it. I was so concerned we'd be tracking him for the next 12 years. So obviously we're going to have to go and mark that with him being out here in the bean field. A couple of deer running right past here. We got a scope. We might fill another doe tag anyway, but let's go get that marked and then go get it back and see what he scores. And I doubt we'll be able to see much of anything with them laying in the field here, but typically we shoot does in here and we end up losing them and having a hard time finding them. This guy's big enough he's sticking out of the bean field. Look at the drops. That's really cool. I don't know what he's going to end up scoring. I'm guessing 170s, but really thrilled, especially with the chocolate rack, even though we've had a couple of nice ones already. To get one that size with the big drop tines, this new rack system, I mean, having drops like that, and just, you know, it seems there's so many more options for what they can look like. It really adds character. I'm really starting to second guess that whole 170 thing here. I think we might be a little bit north of that. Before we put them on the meat pull there, just to kind of show you, like the frame is really nice, and obviously those 2 drops, that's adding a significant amount of score. The brow tines being weak hurts. Got that sticker there off the G3. I could definitely see him going a good bit higher than that, and with the new system, obviously it's going to take some time to kind of get used to what scores what. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, we must have drove just exactly in between those 2. So, one final look hanging here. That, man, I really wish his G2 on his right side was matching the left, because then he'd really just be giant, but that hurts. As far as the score, though, we'll go and see. We may only get like a guesstimation, essentially like, let's say over 180 or whatever. Sometimes it seems to work, sometimes it doesn't. When we get to the wrap-up screen here, we shall see. Gonna be a 171. It did work. Good. That's awesome. The age and everything worked. 171, so my first guess was actually correct. And it does say it's added to the trophy room. I don't think they show up just yet. I'm gonna go and give a look at that. So this is what I was told. The bucks aren't showing up just yet, but they are gonna be showing eventually. So this buck that we just shot, it will actually show up in the trophy lodge when that's added. Just a quick editor's note here, that is done. The trophy lodge is working, and we will be visiting at the end of the video. Almost every big buck I've seen posted in the community for the season has been, you know, kind of a more typical colored rack, but for some reason, all the good ones we found are the chocolate racks. I'm thinking this guy's maybe in that same range as the last. Similar look, 1 shorter brow tine, 1 long brow tine, doesn't have the massive drop tines, but he does have a big kicker off that G2, and is late season here, so gonna have to try to take him with the bow, and I'm hoping he'll just kind of keep feeding this way, get into 55-ish, and hopefully we can get him. So that's 62. I think we're just gonna have this work out right as he kind of gets where we can see. That's 54. 52. All right, let's get the full draw. Try to get this guy. Gotta be like 45-ish now. Oh, that looked perfect. Right in, like, potentially a hard shot. Shouldn't be going far. There's another doe down there. Should be going down any second, I would think. Can't be hard. He's gotten too far. Although he did drop immediately and didn't bed down. Not too bad. So, literally 4 good bucks so far with the new racks. All chocolate racks. And probably I should point out, it's not as if I haven't seen any bucks with, like, a normal lighter colored rack. Just all the best ones we've seen have been the chocolate racks. There's some that maybe even would outscore this, but they just haven't looked nearly as impressive. I wanted to see too, like, that big sticker off the G2 is pretty cool. And one thing I really like, I noticed this little, like, sort of almost G4 there. You see that so often in real life where maybe one side has the G4 and the other side sort of thought about growing it or whatever. I love that that's replicated there because it's such a common thing. But I like what I'm seeing so far. A lot of bucks, and really no two are that much alike. This does seem to be, I'd say, like a fairly normal frame for the big ones, and so far they've all been in that like 170, 180 range. I'll be curious to see, like, if we can get, let's say, a 200 plus, and hopefully we get one in this video. How different will that look? But this seems to be sort of like what we're running into the most thus far. And I definitely think compared to the others, looks pretty darn good. The fact that the tines aren't like sticking out through the bottom of the beams is such a big improvement in my mind. So we've got 165 for that guy. I figured he probably was a little lower scoring, but still, as cool looking as he was, and again, that's going to be something we kind of go through as we go along. What is a buck that maybe we would pass? What's a buck that we want to go for? In the past, like a 165 probably we're passing. With the new system and all the potential for cool stuff, I think it's a bit of experimentation to see what ends up scoring what. So finally, our first kind of regular colored rack, good sized buck. I think he's an 11 point here. And actually, as I've been hunting these this week, I think there's been an update that's actually made the chocolate racks more rare. They're about 1 in 5 now, and I don't think that was the case when we were getting all those before. So, kind of cool that we got a couple of really good ones, and now maybe as we go along, if we see a big chocolate rack in the future, more incentive to try to get it, as opposed to right now, we're actually looking for the non-chocolate racks. So, pretty nice looking deer, a lot of mass, got that big, like, spear point off his brow tine there, and actually you can see it, like where the brow tine on the right side's busted off. That's cool. That's the first time I've actually seen that. I really like that little detail, so we'll go and get him on the meat pole and go back and see what he scores. No, I don't think this is the biggest buck we've shot thus far. I think he's going to score pretty good, though, because just having a lot of tines there, a couple of abnormals, but everything, of course, is gross score, so abnormals are only adding to it. Lacking a brow tine hurts a little. Got a pretty good looking frame, though, and finally to get one that isn't the chocolate rack, even though I do think they're really cool, and I'm excited they're going to be a little bit more rare. Nice to just bring it down, and it is our last buck tag this season, but I definitely want to see what he scores. By the way, the pick up all trail camera buttons in the menu did actually work to take the 2 cameras I had stuck here off the map, so that's pretty nice. And as for this guy, I'd say also pretty nice. I'm going to guess maybe 170-ish, 160s, 170s, something like that. And we'll see, maybe those additional times are going to give him a little bit more. Go into the menu, we can find out. 179 actually, so all the bucks that we've been getting lately are right in this range. I've seen some 200s posted, they look insane. That's what I want to try to go for, but I can't help but shoot these ones that we're finding. They look really good, and until we kind of do it and see what they score, I think being able to field judge is just going to be tough. Well, what do you know, 1 in 5 or not, we've got another chocolate rack buck here, and it doesn't look huge frame-wise, but there's just a lot there. Like, he's got that big kicker going inside the frame, big old drop tine off his left beam. I still don't think it's going to be anything like a 200, but I think we're going to still go ahead and get that just in case. So, got a little window there. That was a little high, but got a nice mule kick out of it, so I think he's going to go down. And it makes our life a little easier running back at us, so less distance to cover. And unfortunately, he crashed here like in all this grass, but we can still kind of see. Pretty nice looking drop. He's got a little tiny kicker off that G2 as well. I don't know what this is going to end up scoring. He's certainly not the big frames that I've seen, like I said, the 200s that have been posted around the community. But we'll leave a marker here, and we'll find out. So we'll have to go and see, but honestly, this guy more resembles like kind of the old random racks, the taller, more narrow look. And I actually think some of that time length is really going to help him out. But if this guy, let's say, doesn't go at least 190, this is going to be the last one that we shoot that I'm not completely convinced is going to go 200 plus. So we're going to load this guy up here, get a final look, because again, we still can't look in the lodge. Tell you what, he's got more tines than I thought too. All that's going to be beneficial. I won't be surprised if this is our biggest of the new racks, because I think in total he's got like 14 or 15 points. Only one way to find out. Let's go see. Oh, it is a 200. 204. The one where I'm finally starting to think like, that's not going to be it. That guy goes 200 plus, 204 inches and a chocolate rack. That's actually really sweet. And that would actually be the last buck that we were able to take down this week. And it just so happens, I know I just said there that we couldn't view him in the lodge. That has obviously now been added, and we can come and see our 204 chocolate rack whitetail buck with the new racks. Honestly, just super, super cool. And I want to add as well, just the fact that, you know, things have been moving so fast with so many updates, I really got to credit the dev here. I mean, literally, when these first were added, the lodge was running at 14 FPS. Now, as you can see, nice and smooth. So many times things are posted in the season Discord, and very quickly taken care of and updated maybe within the day, within the next couple days. I really just respect like the passion project aspect of this game. And obviously, when we have new racks like this, it makes it that much easier to come and play. So we have our 204, we've got our 179, the, I think, only non-chocolate rack that we ended up shooting. Got a 173 there. I think this one was from our live stream over on Twitch, as was this one. By the way, that was not albino when we shot it. That is one bug that still seems to be persisting. Nonetheless, we did have another one, a 172. I think that was also, yeah, because the huge brow tie that was also on stream. Then we've got our 165 typical, 171 typical. Those are the ones from the very beginning of the video. Some really cool bugs. And I love the fact that chocolate racks are even a thing. I also noticed something in editing. If we come back here to our 204, that little tine off this G2, that might be the thing that pushes it over the top. I don't know if it's a 4-inch tine. It's probably close. We may have had like a 199 if not for that. But just really, really cool to see the new rack system, to see it evolve. I've seen some amazing ones posted in the season Discord, by the way. Like, this is a really cool looking buck. It's got nothing on some of the really, like, massive ones that this new Antlercalc system can generate. So, super excited to see where this goes going forward. Hopefully, more 200-inch monsters are going to hit the ground in the near future. But on that note, that's going to do it for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.